Hello, this is Dr. James Holt from Washington State University's Engineering and Technology Management program with the Management Tidbit. You know, everybody seems to be managing on efficiencies, but you know, there might be something better. Have you ever thought? Let's suppose you're in a staff meeting and things are boring and you know, things are going, but I repeat myself, if you're in a staff meeting, it's kind of, so you start shuffling a bunch of nickels, first in your pocket, and then you get them out in your hand and you're shuffling between your hands one to another, and you got these nickels going on. Everybody starts looking. You say, "What are you doing here?" And you say, "Are you guys competitive?" Well, you don't need an answer for that. I mean, you're in staff meeting and everybody's competing against everybody. That's why staff meeting gets to be such an argument. But anyway, say, "Have you got 3 minutes to see who's the best?" Well, yeah. Who can resist a game in staff meeting? So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull out our nickels, and the game is we're going to start at the end of the room with the person who's over there, and we're going to give them a bunch of nickels, all with the heads up. And then someone's going to call out the time so that we know what time it is. And so the first person starts, and they turn over the nickels heads to tails as fast as they can. And as soon as they finish them, they slide them to the next person on the table. And that person has got tails up. So he turns them all over so the heads are down again, or so the heads are up. And so then he slides them over to the next person, and it keeps going around until we all get all the way around the table so we can see who's really good. Now, with this process, while the person's counting, whenever a person's flipping the coins, they remember when they finish, because it's easy. If everybody writes down when they finish, then at the end we can subtract when I finish from the previous finish, and I can figure out how long it take me to do that. So let's see what this looks like. So the first guy is going to flip over his coins, and then as soon as he finishes, they're going to go to the next guy, and the next guy, just like that, right? So once they get them all finished, they're going to go. Let me see if I can show you how to do this with actual nickels. Okay, here I have 10 nickels, and I'll be the counter, and since I'm counting alone, it's going to be a little difficult, but I'll change positions so you know I'm a different person when the time comes. On your mark, get set, go! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, finished up in 22. The first guy finished in 7 or so. This guy finished at 15 minus 7, so he was 8. 22 minus 15 is 7. So these two guys were the fastest. All right, they're really good. This guy was 7 and this guy was 7, yay! And there's somebody who's going to be able to do it in 6 or maybe 5. Those secretaries are really good at moving their fingers. Well, that was kind of fun. Let's see who's most competitive. I would encourage you, after you play this game and everybody goes around the table, it takes them on average about 6 seconds. I was a little slow because fumble fingers, and it took a little longer. So once somebody does it and gets around there really fast, you make a big deal out of it. You compliment them, they're really fast, you know, and you say you're the best people in the company and so on, and you make sure who got 8, who got 9. So, oh, okay, well, 9's not too bad, but anyway, we got them over, so you passed it on. But, you guys are fast, but there were some quality problems. I was watching, and one of the guys in there didn't turn the coin over when it was his turn. He missed it, he slid it to the next guy, and the next guy didn't catch it. He just turned over the other coins and thought he was being fast, and it missed the process, and it went around and around and around. And so in the end, I can't tell you which one it was, which bad, so our customer's probably going to find out which nickel is the bad nickel. This is a problem. We can't live with these kind of quality problems. So we got a new boss. The new boss comes in and says, look, because of these problems, we're going to change the way we're going to do business. No longer will you be able to use 2 hands. You're going to have one hand behind your back, and you're going to turn those nickels over. You need to do a quality check. Make sure that every time you pick one up, you turn it over. And that way we will know that every nickel has been done. When you turn it over, I want you to give it immediately to the next person so that the next person will be able to look at it and know that it's correct. And then they will pick it up and turn it over and give it to the next person and know that it is correct. I realize this will slow you down with only using one hand. And I know it's going to take you a lot more transfer time to deliver it in transfer batches of 1 and 1. But our quality is going to improve. Okay, do you think that'll work? Let's see what it's going to look like. New boss wants something different. They want each person to complete their coins when they get the first coin. They're going to go first, there's a guy who has a coin, okay? Then he's going to move it down, and the next he's getting to get another coin. And then the next guy is going to move his down, and the next guy is going to move his down, and so on and so on and so on. It's going to be a little bit harder to calculate how long it took to finish, but we need to see if this system is better or not. Let's try it out. All right, here we are. We're going to do it again, only this time I have to put my hand behind my back, and we have 2 helpers here to make sure that we're going to go. So on your mark, get set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, that was terrible. I started at 1, I didn't finish until 13. And you started at 2, and you didn't finish until 14. 13 or 14, and you started at 3, and you finished at 15. You got to think about that. That sure took a long time. It took twice as long to flip the coins this way. We only had one hand. We had to transfer it a lot more. It was terrible. Now it's time for you to lead the discussion. In the first scenario, everybody was so efficient. They could do the thing in about 6 seconds. We get those things done, 10 people, 6 seconds, that's about 60 seconds. In the second scenario, we had this one-handed bandit, highly restricted. They couldn't do it. The boss made us do things really inefficient. I mean, it doubled our times. It took 15 seconds to do something that I did last time in 7 seconds. This is terrible. It's really bad. I think we should have a mutiny. We need to fire the boss. We need to start tell him we cannot work with one hand tied behind our back. It just takes too long to get things done. This type of a process is terrible. It's going to hold back our company. We're going to lose money. We're never going to succeed. I'll be fired, and I won't have to go look for a job. If you keep talking about it long enough, somebody is going to come in and say, wait a minute. Last time, you completed your 10 tasks in roughly 25 minutes, 25 seconds or so. And this time you finished in only 15 seconds. This is much better. Nah, couldn't be. It was so inefficient, we didn't get anything done. Well, was it? You just got to keep talking about it. Just keep denying how good it was until somebody in your group stands up and says, wait a minute. The goal of the object is to get the nickels out the end, not to be individually efficient. So they'll bring it up and you'll get to hear it. When the discussion comes in, you'll realize that if you got 10 people or more, you probably cut the time in half by the second system. You might have them figure out, why did that happen? How did it happen? Where did all the finished, how did we get it so much faster? And they'll figure out, well, that in the first game, half of us were sitting waiting for a long time doing nothing, and in the second game, everybody was busy most of the time, even though the efficiency was less. Now you ask them the obvious question, how many of you have unfinished tasks sitting on your desk right now? Do you have more than 10? And are there people waiting for those tasks? What would be the best way to improve the productivity of our company? Should we finish all those 10 tasks before we pass them on? We need to learn that small batches with quick transfers will really help our system, even though for you as an individual, it may be less than effective.